Hey guys, it's Thyworm and I wanted to just give my first impressions on the latest patch 0.4.2 in this room of bathing light. I thought let me enlighten you my thoughts on the current patch. So this video is not going to be an in-depth video about the patch notes. As a matter of fact, I might not even make a video about the patch notes itself because they're simply not that interesting. I will work on a video that covers the silent changes or the stealth changes because they are always there and not everything is in the patch notes. So if you also discover stuff that is in-game currently introduced in patch 0.4.2 but is not in the patch notes, please let me know, because then we can just make a video together. I will use your suggestions and your comments, create a video out of it, and then the whole community is informed again about the current state of the game, which I think is important. So what am I going to do? I'll just give you my initial thoughts on reading the patch notes and like the general idea that I get out of this. When you're going through the list, it is exactly what they're claiming to be in the introduction. It is just a list of bug fixes. There's nothing new to it. There's nothing really exciting about it either. And I was yesterday in another stream and there were some people streaming Pagan online. I notified them that there were patch notes and they checked them out, and also they felt a little bit disappointed, I think. And they were disappointed because there's nothing really new here. And if you're like me or like other veterans of the game and you've played, let's say, 150 hours of this game, then all you really want is something else to do, because there's really not that many reasons right now to be playing the game for me. And I would not be playing this game if I weren't making like a bunch of videos on it. Which is not to say that this game isn't worth playing or isn't worth getting. It definitely is. It is just that after 80 hours or 100 hours, you just get a little bit bored and then you're waiting for new content. And then patches like these, they don't really help whatsoever. And while I share those feelings to some extent, I'm also a little bit disappointed. There's also another side of the coin. And that is that we're also talking here about like a game, an application, something that runs on servers. And those are typically things that need to be maintained. Now, I work myself as an IT architect in a corporate organization, and we deal with this issue all the time. And this is a little bit how this goes, right? We have the business and we have IT. I work in IT. The business is very much comparable to, let's say, you guys, the customers. Why? Because they want things, right? They want new content, they want new heroes, they want all kinds of stuff that they want from IT, from me, or from Mad Hat Game Studios. And it's our job, well, first of all, to keep the customers happy, because in the end it's about customers. But it's also our job to make sure that everything keeps running at a somewhat stable pace, that if you want to make use of services that you already have, let's say wiring money, that you can still keep doing that without the systems breaking down. That is also an important part of IT. Nobody really sees that, nobody really understands it all that much either, but it has to be done. And every now and then we take time to not deliver any new functionality, but to actually make sure that all the systems keep running. And I expect that a patch like this has a similar function. So while we're not getting anything new, they are making sure that everything that we already have is being optimized, is being smoothened out, and that the servers and everything just can keep running properly, which is very important for a game in the long run. If you start developing on, let's say, cleaner software with less bugs in it, you will also produce much more content because you don't have to deal with the bugs anymore, and testing becomes a lot easier as well. Development in general becomes a lot easier if you work with a relatively bug-free environment. And if you have to develop basically around existing bugs, that's just not a good situation to be in. So from that perspective, I totally get that they would every now and then have a patch like this, which is basically just cleaning up the infrastructure, the servers, the application, a bunch of other bugs, and then continue again with new developments and new functionalities for everybody involved and all players playing the game. Taking into account what I just said, this is probably the right approach. I mean, I think that they make a good decision here to every now and then, like every, 2 months or something, make sure that they just clean out their systems and have a good and clean environment to develop content on. At the same time, I think they also realize that this is not necessarily what we're looking for. And a gaming community can be relatively brutal after patches like this and just start flat out complaining. which is to some extent understandable. It's understandable mainly because for quite a while now people have been talking, and then I mean Mad Hat Games have been talking about new content. And we haven't really seen that much new content. We have seen reworks and overhauls and those kind of things, but not actually new things to do. People have been farming the same 4 bosses for hundreds of hours now. And while I am not necessarily complaining about it, it's not new content. So we want something new. I think Mad Hat Games realizes that all too well. They have hyped up some announcement of tonight. And it's my hope that there will actually be an announcement on new content. When we can expect probably Act 6. What else is coming up? There will be reworks of the entire skill trees. And you can discuss if that is new content or not, but it should at least allow for more interesting ways to play the game. But most of all though, I think what is currently really lacking is new content. And I keep saying this, new content, I am very well aware of that. But it is very important because if, let's say, a new skill system is coming up, while that could be nice and interesting to some extent, if I still have to kill Kevlar, then I might not care all that much. I want to go kill someone else. Really. Just give me someone else to kill. Not, I'm fine with another dragon, just not Kevlar. While recording, it's currently Thursday morning in like this holy aura of a living room. And the announcement is set for tonight. This video will be released before that, pretty sure. I'm personally really curious to see what will happen tonight because I hope it's going to be good. And I will definitely make a video about it. Also, if I'm more disappointed, I will make a video about it, but I don't expect to be disappointed. I think hopefully they can live up to the hype that they created themselves, let's be honest. And I can't wait to see what's going on there. This was it for now, my initial thoughts on this patch. A little bit of a different video, but I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless. Subscribe to the channel for more content, mainly on Pagan Online, but I'm also doing some other videos on other games as well. You can find me on Twitter at Thyworm. You can find me on Discord, Thyworm. You can find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Thyworm. Streaming every Monday, Wednesday and Friday 8 PM. And tomorrow, Friday 8 PM, I will be streaming some Pagan Online. And we can have a look together at this new patch to see if there's any other changes that weren't in the patch notes, to have a discussion about the new patch in general. It should be good, and we can also talk about the announcement. So I'm curious about that. So join me there tomorrow, 8 PM, should be fun. And that's all for today, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Great to see you all here, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.